go ahead and get started. Start with prayer, followed by the pledge. Let's pray together. Our Heavenly Father, we thank you so much for your blessings to our county. God, we thank you for your watch care over our many first responders, and Lord, the jobs that they do. We pray that you can continue to keep them safe, and Lord, we pray as we consider the business of our county, we ask that you'll be with us, give us wisdom and guidance. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. We'll call the meeting to order for agenda business. Public comment. Do we have anyone for public comment?
We do. We have Jane Birdsong.
Hey, Jane.
Hello.
How are you?
So I'm just going to tell you about the Earth Day celebration we have planned for next Thursday. And the reason I came is I just thought you should know how many groups have really come together to do this. And so maybe next year you all would like to be a part of it too. The Art Center is setting up sound system for us. Of course, Parks and Rec has donated the Elkin City Park for 2 hours from 4:30 to 6:30 on Thursday, April 22nd. We have about 14 groups that are helping out. I wanted to tell you about the Emma Scott Garden Club and the Tree Board will both have tables there with giveaways. There's going to be lots of giveaways, bumper stickers that say "I love trees" and bags that you can carry to the store so you can avoid using plastic, things like that. We're just trying to encourage this community to get with the program on avoiding plastic as much as possible, because it's a problem in our waste stream, and all all the people who pick up trash can tell you the same thing. I'm sure you know. We have Greenworks at D&E, it's a little environmental club up there, and Youth Build. They're both measuring trees. I taught them how to do measuring of circumference and height by triangulation and average spread of the crown, so if they come up with a certain number of points. So they're going to take pictures of the 10 biggest trees they can find and then present those at the park, and then they will also show people there how to measure trees at the park. So that'll be a fun event. We have a poetry contest that the high schools entered. The middle school didn't get around to doing it, and I understand because a lot going on in the schools. But we have 12 entries, and so the winners of the poetry, T-R-E-E contest, so it's poems about trees, they will be presented at the park, and we'll read the winners. We have Melody from Make It Shine. She'll have a table there, giving people supplies to pick up litter. So she'll have sign-ups too, but basically give people bags so they can pick up litter in their own neighborhoods and parks. And we really need that. On Friday, the day after Earth Day, the Democratic women, me and Cindy Stemple representing, are planting a big oak tree in Beverly School yard and a dogwood tree at Midland School. And we hope next year there'll be other schools. We've done it in the past, other schools who want a tree planted for shade. And let's see, the Emma Scott Garden Club is planting a shade tree at the Little Davis Street Park. They need some shade at that one. See if I left anybody. Solid Waste Authority gave us money for the poetry contest winners. And Division of Forestry and DNR are going to be there with some games and things to play. So we hope you'll spread the word. We'll try to get some flyers in here to remind people, but it's just 4:30 to 6:30 next Thursday, birthday. And I hope
All right, thank you, Jane.
Yeah, hope
Appreciate
you'll kind of join in with us next year. I kind of got a little late asking you, but I
Thanks
hope
for
you'll
coming.
come.
Thank you. Anyone else?
Richard Tobias.
Yeah, I've come in here before. I haven't been here for a while because I had to deal with a few health issues. I started back in November coming in about body cams on the county police. As everybody could see, when they turn on the TV, these cops in this country are out of control. They have no accountability. They do what they want. I had a little bit of taste of it. I never had no interaction with cops until then. I come here to the meeting about body cams, and this will be the last time I come because I don't want to bother anybody more time. There's way too much favoritism here, so I know it's not going to happen. The only reason I come here today is because I took a few jabs last time I was here, so I come back to defend myself. Last time I was here on the 4th. I think on the 18th I wasn't here, but someone called my name for public comment. I don't know if it was you, Rob, or who it was. That was pretty disrespectful. It was uncalled for, but I'm a big boy, I can take her. A lot of these people in this town can't take her. That's why I come here about the body cams, because there's an individual named Brian Talkington came to my house. I'm not gonna call him an officer, because that disrespects real officers anywhere. But he came to my house and he threatened my wife, he threatened my family, harassed my wife, harassed me. And ain't nobody gonna talk to my wife like he did. Nobody. Nobody in this county, nobody in this state. That's why I'm here today, to defend myself. I had a few accusations thrown at me by you, Mr. Kiesling, especially about foul language and disrespect. I never used no foul language. Never used one bit of foul language.
So if we go back and check the minutes.
You go back and check them.
All right.
I checked them.
All right.
Okay? You check them. Because I checked them 3 times. Okay, I use thug, maybe, I don't know who sets the ground rules for what foul language is, but that's not foul language where I come from. But the other one was disrespect. You know, people in this town could cry me a river with disrespect, okay? Nobody showed my family 1 ounce of respect. They trumped up them charges across the road on me. I know what Talkington was brought to my house for. It was all a set up deal. They trumped up charges on me of domestic. Been married to my wife for 30 years, I ain't never done nothing. I couldn't defend the charges because Shepard wouldn't let me go home for my care, because my wife's my caregiver. So I had no choice but to plead guilty to the charges. And then Miss Poling, not only did Talkington threaten my wife, Miss Poling threatened my wife. So that's what you deal with in this county. See, I know how it goes. I've been here 20 years. You ain't in the clique, you ain't in. But that's fine, that's what I come here, because these cops don't have tough jobs. Okay, everybody says, oh, they ain't got tough jobs. They ain't even in the top 20 dangerous jobs in the country. Anybody that carries a gun, carries a taser, got body armor and automatic weapons, they ain't got a tough job. You know who had a tough job? I did, because I ended up in a wheelchair, because businesses don't care about working people. And that's why I was come here today, just to defend myself. I ain't come here to get no argument with nobody, or get smart with nobody, or threaten anybody. But I will tell everybody this in this county: the next time anybody messes with my family, I will sue this county for everything they got. That includes that police department, and that includes this whole county, because I'm fed up with the way people treat my family. I've done nothing to nobody in this county. I did what I had to do. Never gave nobody no trouble. But the charges they came to my house for, that's fine. I ain't dealing with them. I'm just dealing with the way the cop acted. Very unprofessional. And I asked Mark, Mr. Scott, to have a special meeting with Mr. Talkington and whoever. At the time it was Brady. Rob wasn't involved then. But he didn't want to do it because he said it wouldn't go nowhere, which it probably wouldn't. But that's fine. Anytime Mr. Talkington is man enough to come into one of these meetings, I'll be here. But he's not going to, because he hides behind that piece of tin. That's what he does. He come to my house and did it on purpose. So people better be ready what you get in this county. And that's why I come. I won't come no more. I won't bother Rob. I won't bother anybody anymore. I just wanted to say what I had to say, and I appreciate you guys listening. You have a nice day. Thank you for your time.
All right, any other public comment?
Yes, sir.
Yes, say, come on.
Good afternoon. Jennifer Griggs with the Randolph County Housing Authority, and once a month it's my goal to come here to report on the statistics of our grant that we're working together, the CDBG grant for helping prevention of homelessness for those seeking rental assistance, utility assistance, and mortgage assistance. So we just got the program up and running in the month of March, and we took 77 phone calls, but we've got a couple different grants going. 26 of those were from Randolph County residents. 4 of them were for out of state, just to let you know, and out of state individuals are not eligible for either one of our grant programs. And 22 of them are unknown because we're still waiting for them to process. But you know, that's clearly about a third of the calls that we're taking are Randolph County residents. We were able to process in the month of March. Again, we had just started. We helped 2 households who were potentially being evicted for a total of $3,746. And we helped 2 other households, so a total of 4 households combined, 2 households with utility assistance for a total of $609.84. So I can tell you that we're getting a lot more requests. It's really kicked up. We have also hired a full-time person for this position specifically. Mr. Billy Gilbert started at our office on Monday, and so he's doing his training this week and next week, and then we're going to be having him go out into the community, reaching out to landlords, reaching out to apartment complexes to ensure that people know that if they are struggling with rent, utilities, or mortgage, and it has been directly or indirectly affected by COVID, they potentially could be eligible for some funding. So just wanted to give that to you, and after we do our reports, we'll come back and let you know that, because we feel that the public should know what we're doing together to help in this time. Then kind of switching hats over to our work grant program. With our learning center in downtown, which is at 125 3rd Street downtown, we have been really kicking up our learning classes that the public can attend. So we've got a couple more classes happening this April, and I just wanted to mention them. The first one is coming up Monday at 1 p.m. We're actually having Eastern Community and Technical College coming in and talking about our clinical medical assistance program, which this is our first step. We're going to be having college classes here in the city of Elkins starting in August. And these college classes are for the clinical medical assistants. And so you're going to be able to get 10 college credits, and you'll be able to sit for the college exams for phlebotomy, EKG, and medical assistance. So we are so excited about that. And so if anybody wants to learn more about that, we have an information session on that. Then on April 21st, because we're still realizing that not everybody knows how to use Zoom, we're having a Zoom class. How do you Zoom? How do you create a Zoom meeting? How do you participate in a Zoom meeting? And then on Thursday, April 29th, we're having a public speaking class. We know there's a lot of people who fear public speaking, and so we just want to, again, it's a community class. You just have to RSVP so we have enough seats, but we're encouraging people to come to us and look at these classes. And of course, we have a whole slate of classes for May as well. So just wanted to report that. Thank you for your time.
Thank you. Anyone else for public comment?
Can you just tell them what a great job you've done on the collaborative of,
With the chamber?
occupational education? She has been having meetings. The last meeting we had, we were there with Mike Bell, Chris from D&E, Mark Doak, and myself. And she has come up, well, I'll let you explain it.
So what we're doing with the Randolph Elkins Chamber of Commerce is we have a workforce development committee, and we're really focused for 2021 on developing career pathways. And so we're focusing the 2 career pathways that we're kind of building out to let the community know about is construction and hospitality and tourism. And so what the chamber is going to do is go out and ask chamber members and business owners to fill out this survey to let us know what are the essential functions or the essential traits or skills that people have to have within those job descriptions. And then we're gonna really work on a build out of a pathway. So if someone starts as a ground letter, let's say as a busser, where can they move to along that continuum? And it goes up and it goes wide, because you can stay in the restaurant business, or you can go into tourism, into marketing, and so forth. And so we're gonna be doing that with construction as well. You can start as a general laborer, but then you can go into a safety coordinator, or you can go into a machinist. And so we're really looking at what skills our community needs. Even though we can get national information, we really wanna focus is what's going on with our businesses in Randolph County, and then build this out. And so then that will be part of the Learning Center, is we'll be focusing on those classes that are most needed by our local employers. So it's just the collaborative with the Randolph County Collaborative and for Workforce Development. And this is just one part of the things that we're doing to try to bring business here and to help our businesses grow and help everyone, whether they're a young person, unemployed, newly employed, or they're just looking to make some career changes, to help them gain skills to have more income, because we know when people have skills and they have more income or they have stable jobs, they're able to help our community become more vibrant. And so our goal is just to help the community grow.
Excellent, thank you. Appreciate that.
I apologize about putting you on the spot, but they need to know that avenue of what you're doing as well.
No problem.
Thank you.
All right, minutes from previous meetings.
Okay, make a motion that we approve the minutes from the April 1st meeting of the county commission.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the regular meeting of the county commission as presented. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
And then I'll make a motion that we approve the special session meeting minutes from the April 5th meeting.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the minutes of the special meeting on April 5th as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next item on the agenda is reports. Let's see, Aaron?
I've provided you with the current numbers for community corrections. We currently have 108 individuals on the program. Since the beginning of the fiscal year, we've had 34 full participants, 165 as condition of bond, 43 services, 22 from parole, 1 check-in and drug screen, and 12 from probation. I've had 82 individuals complete my program, had 66 terminate. Of those, 11 have re-entered back. We've had 4 individuals attend a rehab. We've completed 3,480 community service hours. We've completed 10,560 employment hours. We've had 9 out of 20 individuals complete my domestic violence program. With our individuals on our program, we've administered 1,856 drug screens, which 360 were positive, which gives us 1,496 negatives. For the community service hours that we've completed, we saved the county $30,450. We've collected $19,315. With the regional jail bill, we saved the county $1,579,983. So with the community service savings and the regional jail bill, we saved the county $1,610,433. So of the 108 individuals that are currently on the program, 12 are full corrections, 59 are on bond, 6 are services only, 9 from probation, and 12 from parole. Of our 12 individuals on the program, I've got 6 employed, 1 unemployed, 4 on the one, and 1 on disability. The next page I've given you is the breakdown of our grant, and this is as of the end of last month. So we're, as you can see, we're right on track. I know the first couple, since they were doing it quarterly, the first couple we went over the 25,000, but as you can see, I just put March's in and we're now at 200. It depends on the months, how many days are in the month. So we're right on track and we should be good till the end of the year. And the last page is the document that you all asked me to do that shows all the rest of the money. So with community corrections, we have spent $42,325.51. We've brought in that $19,315. I'm hoping that that number will jump up and we can be able to exceed like we did last year, but we'll see. Federal probation, we've spent $8,772.50. We've brought in $18,510. With drug court, we've spent $36,830. We've brought in $34,332.50. I'm still 2 checks behind with them. I don't know what's going on with the September check, but hopefully I'll see it soon. So we've got 2 more checks coming in from them. With DHHR, we spent $103,604.03, but we've brought in $256,160, and I've got 3 months still to submit, so we'll be seeing some more checks coming in from them. The juvenile scram hasn't changed. With parole, we spent $240, but we've brought in $1,810.90. So our total expenses minus the grant, we've spent $191,903.79, but we've brought in $330,128.40, which gives us a difference of $138,224.61. So we're doing pretty good.
All right, good. Do you have anything?
Not a particular directive from the congressman, but as always, we are ready to help with these kind of, grant, applications with, letter of support, as we have with, corrections. So if, y'all need us to do any of that for any of your other, applications, please feel free to contact us.
All right, thank you. Sheriff?
Only thing I really probably have right now is, we got Hacker, the new canine track and drug dog he's back in Randolph County, he's working. We done kind of a little sting up in the southern end of the county a couple weeks ago. We made 29 traffic stops in 4 hours, and we had 9 positive drug-related charges out of that. So he's doing what he's supposed to do.
All right, excellent, thank you.
I do wanna mention, up front, I mean, Keesley knows this, grant presentation is May 13th, just so you know.
Okay, thank you.
Have you reached your goal for the funding for the dog?
It's getting real close. You'd have to talk to Bryce Coger, the president of the Deputy Sheriff's Association, but I think it's really close.
All right, Brendan?
Nothing.
All right, Brooke? All right, correspondence, do we have any correspondence? All right. Announcements, just want to let you know the next meeting will be the first Thursday of March, so we've got a few weeks between now and the next meeting. That'll be here at the Courthouse Annex at 1:30, the usual time. All right, items for discussion and action. The first one is Doug Starcher from Our Towns here to do an informational presentation for us.
Morning, Commissioners, good afternoon. Do you guys have copies of this? So our town, we formed in 2016 with our main effort at that point was just to save the annual 4th of July car show. With future goals of, bringing in other groups of people who wanted to do things with, the single overall goal of making life in this town, in this area better. And more enjoyable, given, what we can back to this community. We have, since 2016, not only saved the car show on an annual basis, but we have secured enough money now in an account that makes sure that we won't come that close to losing the car show again. There's now enough money in a secure account that even if everything imploded for 1 year, the car show could go on with no efforts from anyone. We could just simply take that money and pay for it to make sure that, we came 3 months from losing the annual car show a few years ago, and it would have been a big hit to this county. And so we're really happy about that. We have since we took over the Scarecrow Festival in town last year. We've done gnomes at Christmas time. That was a kind of trial run to see if we could expand that into a bigger project during the holidays. We did the spring flowers that are throughout downtown right now. All of those projects, we have from the start tried to make everything that we do free to the general public. We don't want someone to not come and do a flower for downtown because they didn't have $5 to pay for the flower kit. So businesses have been so generous to us. The concert series was a huge success. You all helped us with that in 2019. That was a huge success. And we have resumed that this year. Last year we were unable to do anything, obviously, but we have resumed the concerts for this year. We have 11 of them booked, 11 quality concerts that will start in May and go all the way through the end of September. As well as our weekly car cruisings that will happen every week. But we spread out the concerts a little bit more for this year to get ourselves, you know, to make sure that we could do this safely, and, you know, we feel pretty confident. That is an open air venue. You don't have to be around anybody. You can sit in your car and listen to the concert. It doesn't have to, you know, people don't have to be near each other, you know, to enjoy them. So we feel pretty good that those are gonna be, you know, that those are gonna be good. The car show is booked for this year. We've taken on the 4th of July concert. That will be Rick Kay and the All-Nighters. We brought them in for the 4th of July. They'll play on the stage at 8 o'clock on Saturday evening. And we're working with the fire department so that will be immediately followed by the downtown fireworks kind of display, which actually they're looking at moving that now so that it'll shoot from, I think, Tower Hill, from the new water Tower Hill, so that it'll be more. When they moved it and started shooting from D&E, you really didn't see it from town. You had to be on D&E's campus in order to see them. We don't want people to watch a concert on the downtown amphitheater stage and have to jump in their car and try to run and scramble and find a place at D&E. So we're hoping to get that moved so that the fireworks will be visible throughout downtown. I think that's gonna be done. In 2019, at the end of it all, our efforts we were able to secure an account and secure the car show, and there was money left over, and so we turned in early 2020, and we wrote a sizable check to the Children's Museum efforts in town to further that, because we don't have overhead, we don't have administrative costs, we have some licensing and some insurances, and we do have, I think we're the only organization, as a matter of fact, that has the licensing to be able to play music on the sound system that is in downtown Elkins. So we do have those expenses, but as far as phones and employees and offices, we don't have any of that. It is just a group of volunteers. We started in 2016 with less than a dozen active volunteers, and our projects now are involving hundreds of people. The flowers, we initially intended to do 35 flowers, and the demand was so high that we did 100, and you know, those are scattered throughout downtown. We now have that will kick off, I think, Memorial Day weekend. We've taken over the vacant windows in downtown. You know, vacant windows are horrible in a town, you know, especially if you're a town that's trying to market tourism. When people walk around your downtown, there's nothing in the windows. So we have secured virtually every empty window in downtown for the summer. And we have groups from the college and the garden club and the Daughters of the American Revolution, a number of different organizations. Well, some of them I think are listed on your letter there, that are taking over those windows and putting in patriotic, community, lots of different displays that'll be informational and you know, and as well as appealing to the eye more so than a vacant window. So we are trying to expand out and do a lot of different things. You've been very supportive of us in the past. We did ask for, you know, we were hoping that we could get a little bit of extra funding. We want to do more things. We did not fundraise last year. We, you know, obviously couldn't go to businesses last year and ask them to. We are well on the way to paying for the concerts. Businesses are really supportive of the idea of the downtown concerts, and so we are well on our way to securing that, but we're not there yet. And the total cost of it is going to be somewhere near $19,000. But as you saw the list of the lineup of it, we have on June 24th, Chance McCoy, the guitarist from Old Crow Medicine Show. That's a Grammy-winning performer that is putting together a band of West Virginia musicians to play on our stage down here for free that night. That's a terrific show. And that's us working with Augusta. We have, like I said, Rick Kay and the All-Nighters. We have Yarn as a Grammy. They've been on the Grammy ballot 4 times. So we've got quality performances all summer long that will be free and open to the public. We did reach out to the city this year, and they have supported us somewhat. So I'm not asking you specifically for restrooms like I did before, but if we could count on the support of the commission again this year, we would really appreciate that, and we will do our best to make sure that you'll be able to see in a few months the benefit of what you've done, you know, of your help.
Well, I know that there are a lot of people that come from out of the county on those concert nights.
Yes.
And the cruise-ins that you do, and you do a lot to bring people for tourism. And we appreciate your efforts that you do.
I think that the annual car show is second only to the Forest Festival in the size of event that happens in this town.
Amazing what it transforms the town to antique.
It's really something to walk around and look at. It really
Yeah,
is.
absolutely. So, any questions? Or this time I'll entertain a motion.
Yeah, I make a motion that we approve funding for our town in the amount of $5,000 to be taken from hotel motel tax.
Okay, motion on the floor is to approve $5,000 for our town incorporated for activities over the summer, and that be taken from the hotel motel tax. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Thank you.
Thanks, sir.
Thank you.
All right, next item on the agenda is an informational presentation from the West Virginia Food and Farm Coalition, and their representative is gonna have to be with us by phone. One of the representatives just had a child, or is about to have a child, one of the two, we're not sure yet.
I'm pretty sure it's today.
Today, maybe in labor today, so.
Yeah.
But do you have their contact information?
Yep, that's
All
right.
right. All right, so we'll contact Sierra Cox with their organization. Hello, Sierra. This is Mark Scott from the Randolph County Commission. We're in our meeting, and we're prepared to listen to your presentation on the West Virginia Food and Farm Organization.
Wonderful. Thank you so much for having me. First off, I'm not sure how much you've heard, so I'm just going to do a real quick overview of my organization. So we are a nonprofit based out of Charleston, West Virginia. We work to build a resilient food system in West Virginia, and one of the projects that is helping to do that is the Food Shed Coordinator Project. So there's 5 of us spread out among the state. So we're located within a multi-county region that's designated as a food desert. So my area of expertise or region is down in the central part of the state. So I'm actually down in the Roane, Calhoun, and Ritchie area. Erin Nyer is the food shed coordinator for your region, but she was admitted to the hospital last night and is hopefully having her baby today. So she'll hop back on after maternity leave and then take this project over. But I'm just here to present the project and see what kind of questions you all might have. So the project that we're looking at doing is we're applying for a federal economic development authority grant, and that will be to put in 5 manufacturing kitchens within those 5 designated food shed areas. Erin has been working with Tom Rennick out at the Homestead Community Center located in Daly, West Virginia, and she has gone out and done an assessment, and we've worked with the Robert C. Byrd Institute to have their lean assessment analysis come out. He did a SWOT analysis on the location, and came back with some really great recommendations and really great, thinks that the space has really great potential. The kitchen currently isn't in use. From what I've been told, all the equipment has been moved out. They just redid the floor in the kitchen and put in some border around the floor base, but there is a lot of equipment there because this location used to be a school, and it is still in working order. So that was one of the really good benefits of this area, of this location. It had some really great equipment in it already. It's a really big space. Looking at it to be a manufacturing kitchen, we would be purchasing some equipment. Let's see. Erin mentioned possibly some jarring equipment for people to, upscale their salsa and jam and jelly manufacturing, process commercial dehydrators, vacuum seal packaging, things of that nature. The grant would be able to cover any equipment, but no renovations, the actual structural components to the building. I was told that there aren't any construction needs within the kitchen area, so that should be good to go. And there's already been several producers in the region that have stated interest in using this facility if the grant goes through, including some, including West Virginia Extension Agency and the Turner Farm Collective, which is an aggregator distributor that comes to that region and are interested in possibly using it as an aggregation site. So I'm trying to think if there's anything else grant related. Brent would also be covered within this grant. So for the individuals that are using the facility, the grant would cover the rent, which would cover utilities used for the period of time that this grant is taking place, which my understanding is this grant would run through December of 2023. And I do apologize, I left a message with Brooke. I know we were supposed to get a letter of support to you. Our grant writer is actually meeting with our grant manager from the Economic Development Authority tomorrow. From my understanding, there has to be some very specific verbiage within the letter of support, so she's trying to make sure that gets clarified, and we will be able to get that to you, I'm hoping, within the next week. I have folks from RCC County that are also asking for that letter of support, so I've been hounding our grant writers about it and hope to get that soon.
Okay, any questions, David?
No, I'm good.
All right. So the purpose of the program is to help local food producers be able to expand their operations through the use of this commercial kitchen. Is that correct?
Yes, sir. So the goal, another piece of this grant will also be for marketing. So we're wanting to be able to get producers products on shelves, not only within West Virginia, but we're hoping to expand that out to the Eastern Seaboard, to get products into, bigger hubs like DC, Baltimore, places where producers can get a higher price for their products.
Okay. Anything else, David? All right. Well, we appreciate it. Thank you very much for taking the time to do a presentation. Get that letter of support to us as soon as possible. When is the deadline for the grant?
That's a great question. I believe we're trying to get everything in and wrapped up by the end of May.
Okay. All right. So that gives us.
With a projection of funding, the earliest funding would be for this fall. So we're looking at probably a September, October timeframe for funding if it goes through.
Okay, well, you'll get that letter of support to us and we can consider it at our next meeting, okay?
Sounds great. Thank you so much,
All right.
sir. I really appreciate your time.
Thank you for the time. Have a great day.
Definitely. You have a great rest of your meeting.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
All right. All right, next item on the agenda is consider approval of upgrades for operating system. Software Systems does our operating system for our what's called an AS400, which is kind of our network that Brenda uses, the sheriff uses, the assessor uses. And so we received a letter about a week ago to let us know that the current version, which is version 7.2, is no longer going to be supported. And in order for us to extend our warranty to keep that 7.2, it was going to cost us $1,550.75. However, we can upgrade our software to 7.3, and there's no penalty fee through IBM or anything like that. The cost of it would be $1,200. So to upgrade to a better version, it's actually going to save us $350. So this time we'll entertain a motion.
Yeah, make a motion that we approve the upgrade and we'll choose option 2, which will convert us to 7.3 now, and it's only $1,200.
All right. Motion on the floor is to approve the upgrade of the operating system to version 7.3 at cost of $1,200. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next, consider approval of a quote for GST for firewall renewal. And the firewall that is, of course, one of the safety mechanisms to keep intruders out of our system. As you all know, there was a county nearby, or may not know, but there's a county nearby about a year ago that was hacked into, and ransomware was used, and it literally cost the county tens of thousands of dollars to recover, and some of the data they never have recovered. And so anything that we can do to protect our system is a good thing. And so the license renewal for 3 years of the firewall with our Sonic Wall system is $2,000.87, which I think is a pretty decent investment when you consider you can lose tens of thousands of dollars in data with one hack. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we approve a quote from GST in the amount of $2,000.87 for our firewall renewal.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve firewall renewal for 3 years with Sonic Wall through GST in the amount of $2,000.87. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item is consider approval of quote from Reliable Roofing for flat roof repairs on the Weiss Annex and the old 911 building. Here recently, the sheriff notified the commission of a major leak that we were having in the stairway, the front stairway of the Weiss Annex. And so we reached out to 3 or 4 different contractors to give us a quote, and we only had one contractor that showed up. Reliable Roofing came, took a look at it, took pictures, and they are proposing to clean and remove debris from the roofs, repair 3 cuts in the roof surface and wall flashings, to inspect seams and repair as needed. He said in general they're in pretty good shape, but there are some repairs that are needed. Clean and caulk voids is needed, and fabricate and install a storm collar for a furnace pipe that goes through the 911 roof where there's been some leaking. So the quote that he's given us is in the amount of $5,000 for those repairs. So at this time, we'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we approve the quote from Reliable Roofing for the repairs to the Weiss Annex and the old 911 building in the amount of $5,000.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the repairs for the leaks in the 911 building and the Weiss Annex. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item on the agenda is consider approval of payment for security cameras in the old 911 building. We have are moving a couple of our units, the unit of law enforcement, and also the commission office will be moved over to the old 911 center. The offices back here are needed by our assessor. She's outgrown her facilities, and so this actually would be a connecting. She's got offices here and offices here, and we've got an office here. So we have gone through and have done a tremendous amount of work. As you can imagine, pulling just the wiring alone from that old 911 facility, it was literally about 3 foot high and about 8 foot wide, just the wires that were pulled from that facility and replaced a couple of cameras. And so the cost for that was $6,265.03, and that included putting in new cameras to make sure that we protect that area from the sensitivity of having law enforcement there, and also to remove and replace some wiring that was required to get all that up and running. So this time I'll entertain a motion to approve that payment.
And make a motion that we approve the payment for the security cameras in the old 911 center from Digital Soup in the amount of, my glasses, $6,265.03.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the proposal from Digital Soup in the amount of $6,265.03 for repairs to the old 911 center. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next on the agenda is consider signing resolution for litter control grant. I believe it was in 2021 we received the litter control grant for, if you all will know, there are some, we have 12 trash receptacles that we placed in areas of the county where we had major problems with litter. And they are also, there's cameras installed to monitor those areas just to make sure that they're being utilized and utilized properly. And we're pleased to report that it has been. And so we are applying for a new grant for this year for $5,000. It's a matching grant, and that will be used to continue our program by having someone who regularly monitors and dumps those trash cans, and then also to have additional cameras there to patrol areas that may or may not have trash receptacles in those areas. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion that we approve a resolution for our clerk to sign for applying for the 2022 litter control grant.
Okay, I make a motion that we give authority to the county clerk to sign the resolution letter for the litter control grant.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the signature of the county clerk on the litter control grant application for 2022. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item on the agenda is selection of an engineer for the courthouse facilities improvement grant for the 18th cycle. As you all know, we announced not too long ago that we had received for the 4th year in a row $100,000 grant from the Courthouse Facilities Improvement Authority. We have done the front and the back of the courthouse, so it has a new roof. We are in the process of doing a new roof on the, or replacing the underside of the roof on the jail, stopping all those problems and leaks and taking those old tiles, repairing them, putting them back on the roof. And this is for sidewalk improvements around the facility. If you all will walk around, you will see that our sidewalks are in need of repair. As a matter of fact, at the front of the building, it's not ADA compliant from what we're being told from our engineers, because it's too steep. And so this would be a project to repair sidewalks. The sidewalk beside the jail is, actually it's behind the jail, it's in really bad shape. And so we would extend that sidewalk over. And so we interviewed potential engineers we received bids from engineers. We interviewed those engineers. And so we have, from those interviews, chosen E.L. Robinson Engineering, and the cost of the engineer work for that project would be $24,000. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve that.
Okay, I make a motion that we approve E.L. Robinson as the engineer for our sidewalk improvement project, and that was $24,000.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the engineering from E.L. Robinson for the sidewalk project in the amount of $24,000. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item on the agenda is opening 911 sign installation bids. We had put out a request for proposals from anyone that was interested in doing a sign installation project for 911. This has been an ongoing issue for the last several years, that we have a lot of roads that have either been renamed because of 911 or received names that had never had names before because of the requirements. And so we reached out to various engineers. We had a pre-bid meeting on the 31st, and we have received some bids back as a result of that. We have 3 bids that will open now, and actually 4 bids that will open now and consider, all right? Well, if I can get into it, we'll consider it. All right, first proposal we have is from Hopes and Dreams Construction, and this is for the amount of each road sign being $150 per sign, and that would be, what that includes is placing the signs. Materials will be provided by the county, but it's the placement of the signs. So first bid is from Hopes and Dreams, the amount of $150. Second bid we have is from J&W Contracting from Elmore, West Virginia. And their bid is to install road signs at a rate of $60 per sign. So $60 per sign from J&W Contracting. Next bid we have is from Triple H Construction Company, Howard Harper, out of Beverly. And their bid proposal is for $115 per sign, $115 per sign from Triple H Construction Company. And the last bid we have is from Earthworks Excavators out of Beverly, and their bid is $84.50 per sign, $84.50 per sign. It looks as though we're not exactly sure the total number of signs, but we're gonna be somewhere in the neighborhood of about 1,550 signs that we'll have to replace. All right, we reviewed all of the estimates that have been provided, and the low bid is from J&W Contracting LLC out of Elmore. We've looked at all their documentation, which we will verify, but they have included all the documentation that was asked for the bid. And so unless there is any problems with this, I'd entertain a motion to accept the bid from J&W Contracting.
All right, I'll make a motion that we approve, the bid from J&W Contracting, and it was to install road signs at designated sites, and the price per sign was $60.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the bid from J&W Contracting out of Elmore in the amount of $60 per sign for placement of road signs for the sign project. Is there any discussion? I'd like to say thank you for everyone who showed interest in bidding this contract, and we appreciate, and what we'll do is we will verify all this information, make sure that this contractor knows the scope of the project, and if there's any issues, then we will consider the other bids that we received, okay? So, any more discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, thank you. All right, next item on the agenda is consider appointment to the North Central Community Corrections Board. Aaron?
In the last month or so, we, had a board member resign, due to just not being able to have time to, and she felt that it just wouldn't be a benefit for her to continue. So, we had a board meeting, last week, and we discussed it, and, the recommendation was to, place Beverly Goldeisen. She is one of the individuals ahead of DHHR, CPS, and, but with that position, she would be an at-large, and we are, with our board, through the grant, we are allowed 3 at-large board members, which are to be approved by the county commission. We did have a vacancy of an at-large, so we do have, 1 spot for an at-large individual. The position that was resigned was actually education, but since we already have an education member, we didn't really have to necessarily replace an education. So, the board approved, to, accept Beverly Goldeisen as a member, and I just need the county commission to approve the at-large member to be as the new member on our board.
Okay. All right. Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that we approve the appointment to the North Central Community Corrections Board of Mrs. Goldeisen
Goldeisen.
to be a position on the board as a member at large.
Okay, and do we have the terms of that?
See, with our members, we don't really have time periods.
Okay,
They just basically are on the board. We, every year, they are just asked, are you wanting to continue for the next year? So we've never really had term periods.
So
It's
there's
just-
no terms in
there's
the
no
code or
terms. It's
bylaws or
just-
anything?
Yeah, if
Okay.
they just wanna continue, we will, part of the grant application, they have to sign or do a letter saying they're willing to be a member for the next
Okay.
fiscal year.
All right, the motion on the floor is to approve, Beverly Goldeisen to the Department of Health and Human Resources, in CCC board for,
For at least 1 year.
yeah, for at least 1 year, so, thank you. All right, is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, at this time, we'll entertain final settlements and annual accounting.
Make a motion that we approve the 10 final settlements as presented.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the 10 final settlements as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? All right, budget revisions. All right, we do have a few budget revisions. Number one is from the sheriff's office. And, this is a request to increase the jail equipment, line by $1,000 and to decrease the jail maintenance line by $1,000. I think this is for some computer stuff, right?
Yes, sir, take care of the, those iPads that we got for the camera systems. So
Yeah.
The guys can carry those and monitor the cameras.
Yeah, last meeting, we'd approved, replacing cameras that we weren't able to monitor them. So now our court security officers have tablets that have every camera in the complex that they now can view from their tablets. So, I'll entertain a motion, we approve this budget revision.
There's some hard cases there too, the protective cases and screen protectors, so that if they actually drop the iPad, it doesn't break it. So,
That's,
nice setup.
yeah, and you would hope that they would never get in a skirmish or anything, but in the event, that's there to protect it, so it's good.
Yes, sir.
Okay, make a motion that we approve the budget revision for the sheriff, increasing jail equipment and decreasing jail maintenance by $1,000.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the budget revision for the sheriff's office. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item on the agenda is, budget revision. This is a state budget revision to increase the, to take from our courthouse contractual line to increase our county commission wages, FICA, Medicare, Retirement Benefit Trust. This is, where we had, Brooke training with Kathy before she left and went over to Brenda's office, and so, we're getting towards the end of the year now, so this is state budget revision in the amount of $6,380.80 to cover those expenses. So at this time, we'll entertain a motion that we approve that.
Make a motion that we approve the state budget,
Yes, state budget revision,
roll call.
that's correct. Commissioner Keesling,
Aye.
Commissioner Scott, aye, and, Commissioner C is out of town, so this is approved. All right, and the next one is a state budget revision to increase the litter control line by $150 and take $150 out of community development. There were a few things that we purchased with the last grant that went over just a little bit, so this is to pay for that. So at this time, we'll entertain a motion to approve that.
Make a motion that we approve the roll call vote with the state, the state budget revision for the $150.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the state budget revision for litter control grant line. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, Commissioner Keesling?
Aye.
Commissioner Scott? Aye. Motion carries. All right, next item on the agenda is, Division of Properties Erroneous Assessments.
Make a motion that we approve the 12, division of properties erroneous assessments.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the 12 Division of Properties and Erroneous Assessments as presented. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Distressed properties? Have no distressed properties this time. Fire fee adjustments?
There are 9.
All right.
Make a motion we approve the 9 fire fee adjustments as presented.
All right, motion on the floor is to approve the 9 fire fee adjustments as submitted. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion carries. All right, payment of the bills.